morning to you. This is Wake Up News on Globe TV. I am Brighter. Let's begin with our top stories. And coming up in the next 40 minutes, Supreme Court rejects Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin's appeal to reverse the court decision to suspend his declaration of all parliamentary seats as vacant. Meanwhile, the Council of State has stepped in to help resolve the current parliamentary impasse, offering its support to Speaker Alban Bagbin. And on your election, the court tensions are running high in Wenti constituency in the Bono region as the 2024 elections approach. And coming up in business, Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana has announced a 15% increase in fares starting November 1st, 2024. We also take you to the international front, where heavy rains last March of eastern and southern Spain, flooding streets with muddy water and disrupting rail and air travel. We have details of these stories and many more coming up shortly in the next 40 minutes if you spend your time with me. Program. Remember, we are streaming all across the world on Facebook at Globe TV GH. You can join us with your thoughts and comment. This morning we begin from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has rejected Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin's appeal to reverse the court decision to suspend his declaration of all parliamentary seats as vacant. This development follows an initial lawsuit filed by Futu MP Alexander Afenyo-Markin contesting the Speaker's ruling. The Speaker's legal team had argued that the Supreme Court lacked jurisdiction in the matter, but after considering argument from the parties, including the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the court upheld its initial ruling, deeming the Speaker's appeal meritless.
Grant of orders beyond 10 days. The Speaker's lawyer urges that because of Order 25 Rule 18 of the High Court Civil Procedure Rules 2004 CI 47 that enjoins High Courts to grant injunctions and other preservation orders for 10 days in the first instance if heard ex parte and without notice to one party summoned before the court. The Supreme Court was also enjoined to grant the ex parte order for 10 days as a matter of rules and practice. This is a submission that fails to appreciate the import of Article 2.2 and 2.3 and 2.4, which guide the Supreme Court when dealing with a constitutional matter such as this. We will quote again Articles 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4. The Supreme Court shall, for the purposes of a declaration under Clause 1 of this article, make such orders and give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to declarations so made. Any person or group of persons to whom an order or direction is addressed under Clause 2 of this article by the Supreme Court shall duly obey and carry out the terms of the order or direction. The Constitution enjoins the Supreme Court to make orders that are appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to its final declarations on the correct meaning of a constitutional provision. And the Constitution is so serious about ensuring the obedience of such orders that it creates the offense of high crime for failure to obey such orders in Article 2.4. Not even the President and Vice President are exempt from obeying the orders of the Supreme Court when they are made to give effect to its duty to prevent a violation of the Constitution. Because of the irreparable harm to the constituencies made up of hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians who would have lost their MPs without the option of a by-election, and the irreparable harm to the MPs who would have lost their seats in Parliament in these last few weeks to the 7th December elections, if the meaning put on Article 97(1)(g) by the Speaker was enforced without a clear determination of the disputes around it, this court found it expedient to compel the parties to allow an early hearing rather than make an order that would last only 10 days. This is the reason for the Supreme Court's orders abridging the 14 days allowed for defending a constitutional action through a statement of case and directing the parties to file their respective statements of cases within 7 days and present the issues for resolution immediately thereafter. If the parties had complied with the court's orders, this would have taken all of the 10 days the applicant urges an ex parte order ought to last. Compliance would also have enabled this court to dispose of this case by this week, including the question of whether the suit is competent in form or the jurisdiction of this court has been properly invoked. It is important, and the question of whether the jurisdiction has been properly invoked is different from whether the jurisdiction exists. It's a different legal question. It is important to place on record that both the plaintiff and the Attorney General have complied with these orders, and this court is able to complete hearing of this suit if the Speaker chooses to file no processes. For the above reasons, the application is refused.
Still on the Parliament and Supreme Court brouhaha, the Council of State has stepped in to help resolve the current parliamentary impasse, offering its support to Speaker Bagbin. A 5-member delegation led by the chairman Nana Otu Serebo II met with Speaker Bagbin to discuss the recent development in the legislature that led to the indefinite adjournment of the House. Now, during the meeting, the Council assured Speaker Bagbin of their preparedness to assist him and the leadership of the House in resolving the impasse. The Speaker briefed the delegation on the situation in Parliament and reiterated his commitment to Ghana's democracy and its people. The intervention comes at a crucial time as the parliamentary impasse has raised concerns about the impacts on the country's governance and democratic processes. The Council of State effort to mediate and support the Speaker is a positive step toward finding a resolution and restoring normalcy to legislative proceedings. On your election call this morning, tensions are running high in Wenchi constituency in the Bono region as the 2024 elections approach. Historically a stronghold of the New Patriotic Party, the seat was won by the National Democratic Congress in the 2020 general election. This year's election is fiercely contested between the incumbent MP Alhaji Saidu Haruna and the Kojo Frimpong of the New Patriotic Party. The constituency voters on Wednesday, October 30, said their views on election call in Anama Nyamewa, providing insight into the community's concern and priorities.
Miniaba, where there be some cases. 7 years ago, John Draban, my papa no eba wenchi Ghana Emmanuel Semon, papa no ngunu hu ani mu ase. And no my papa near the until was saying near the eba no better was. Miniaba, ye blocks or musisi no wenchi wanya abure nya edie. But enama mamu obi entimin kan ho asem ntia aiden aka nwuram. Nti ebom pa papa na ebesan ato aba ma na aiden aba be kan yewura Alhaji Saidu Haruna ho. Na mpuntu a wanchifo eden epe no omo nsa eden akante no na ehwe ani mu semre no beso a be wakosala ni ato aba no buma eden e de ama wo mu. Ti
ureti aban no performance 100 be man say. Menu
aba commit mama be 35 e be say amamwo no enkoyi.
Tro wa tro din say afiwe wo beto aba.
Yes. Ma tro mi din.
Wo mra she bedwani am.
Ona bo Alhaji Saidu Haruna.
Afi ono ana ekwa na be sesa wonsa.
Ono ana ekọ.
E de entia.
Em say wo hwe eye Wenchi ase a Wenchi constituency ya wohwe papa no wabɔ ne womɔden oba say the woman empowerment by say wohwe ayi yenua ma wo pamade ne hairdressers ne under Alhaji Saidu Haruna da urma na wohwe a wo manya nsa no adwuma nipa no kɔ ne shop a ayi both road ana meat pie bi wodi siwo na woton se de bia wono so ne sabetuma akɔna no enya sabi obia na wofo nya sika ema omudi kɔ adwuma nti se sa adwuma no bae no ama se yenua no ma no wo mo bed no ayɛ asusu
me amika say me gender advocate me priye die ma ema ne enkola na so far no me hwɛ His Excellency John Dramani Mahama tam na oyɛ president any se nso a oba na wo hwɛ ne policies a wachichiri anase wakukuru ato ho se ode beboa mana na esese me de eboso ebo miyem na meye campaign kese na me san to aba ma no especially ye women's bank wo hwɛ se ne wahyehyɛ no na kire se ema ye yie die na aba na ne sa wo ba wanchi hanso a wo hwɛ ne Alhaji Saidu Haruna ba ye within 4 years ema no se ne watimi aka ya abom ama ya ni so adi hunu se insano dwuma ne ese se ode ne to adwuma mu ne ade utimu se the inclusiveness of women in decision making no so no ade a ekoso
we have memoya na do be rating say 100% be rating say
it's sad me man na do 30 kra
to be man say
me man no 20 me man no 20 as a leader no me man say enye de kra wadi so nti sa percentage no me de be man but so far in terms of economy no education me a teacher ni minimum ne ekoso education sector education na sen education na gu apa wo hwe the overburden of the curriculum overburden of teachers just say utimu say ya plan ye na ya kukura education no na ye de akosi ba bi na ye bre enti me rate no for bia 20%.
As the elections approach, the contest for the Wenchi constituency seat is heating up. Incumbent MP Alhaji Haruna is determined to hold on to his position, while Kojo Frimpong and the New Patriotic Party are working relentlessly to reclaim the seat they lost in the 2020 elections. In a heated debate on election court, representatives from both parties addressed voters concerning each arguing while their party deserved to emerge victorious in December.
So if you come to Wenchi constituency, we have 3 parliamentary candidates standing on the ticket of the NDC, the NPP, and then the independent candidates. Seth Cobbins on the constituency communication officer at the NDC. You're a Baba Globe TV. So.
Major Suminia.
Now, I'm to say.
Yanko Padum, Abambon in the Ema we are by no free Hodia, Yanko Padum so. Now, but when chia, and I'm say, Yankopa boy, Amaya MP Papa, Honorable Alhaji Saidu Haruna Daroma, when Jisnome Kuyi Kakra, Emayen.
So, Cassa, Abambon and our patch, say.
Oh, yeah, same training. The facts are in same training on Chess on Yaganani. And only isolated from the current condition of mine womb. Neakoso mine winano. Me sure say, Obano, Lori Fair Utriae. Not 2016, so eba Lori Fair Utrian difference room. And Adriane Dokuna no pay 2016 price and all be chia and son when you said dokuna I know say for a fact and they different. And to in person, our yen same train or say Ghana, you know. Semikasa Bambonia, when you're isolated, you are part of the governance or you're Ghana near the hardship conditions econo a also. Enti abambone no enyese bi nipa baako omo say abambone te sensu ayeto eto egu obi an fence so
Andigu Ahmed ono see your communication team member at the New Patriotic Party Remo Akwa Baba Globe TV so
ya mo we so minia
apom te say
nyame adom bibia ekoso ye da sori a moja die mafensane ye de na nyame ne de na ase se bibia ekoso meti se minua e ka se ewi ase ye den na ndi sabra na kwenke ye 2 cities na kufu abre so na kenke ye sen and NDC break on saying, Sa politics when Ghana for quatrasa, Ghana for quatrum, and more a brown no discovers a more dino, a brana emunya dino, or more cancel training allowances, a brana emunya dino, or more adding, I made that doom soon for 4 years, a moana emu enya dino, nursing training allowances or muchamu. And now emu air diamano, your man Colabia go school free, and now muya dino, ambulances 307, and the other of my muha, and now emu air dino, ama yade. We are acquainted ya Ghana, a mamma ya dino, free senior high, Ghana, a babating beer, a duwa dance here.
So, the one no, Edon Ra, a bingo, politics and Yakasahunu Sabi. politics eye kasa wo kan niema firi mu ba what am I say enti wo ba kasa bebre na hu any good work no doesn't mean say we politics what am I say who be say 8 years in government at the NPP I can tell you on authority when Timan yina etie me Ghana man yina ehwe me say MPP nko na ye party say obedi so wanchi ye nyamfa so free so no please keep quiet and listen to wisdom boss open yansa ye dina tie yansa yentie yansa sam wadaroma we are on live yentie yansa sam me see when Timan him say no MPP allow him to talk allow him to talk please
And that was the team and I engaging in some constituents and communicating team members for both NPP and NDC in Wenchi constituency in the Bono region. Still on election called Arise for Change and Economic Growth has launched a nationwide crusade called We Choose Aid for JM with a press conference marking a historic first in Ghanaian politics. This regional crusade for the people's economy is poised to leave a lasting impact on the country's political landscape.
The National Coordinator for Arise for Change and Economic Growth, Isaac Zaku, emphasized that the crusade aims to engage citizens on critical economic issues and growth, highlighting the alarming decline in economic growth under the NPP government. The crusade platform seeks to address the concerns of the people and provide a catalyst for change.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you all bear us out, that the country's economic growth is very poor under the current government, and this group made a lot of suggestions to it in the 2020 fiscal year when the group was formed, but they were ignored. Those suggestions were ignored. That is why we are all facing this hardship. Truthfully, the NPP does not have any solution to fix this economy. That is why their flag bearer is running away from the economy to digitalization.
Isaac Zaku urged citizens, media outlets, community groups, stakeholders and NDC party members to actively participate in ensuring the integrity of the upcoming election. This appeal emphasizes the importance of civic engagement and oversight in maintaining the democratic process.
And I want to use this opportunity to indicate that the country's economy or economic growth has drastically declined under the current MPP government led by President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
For security expert Dr. Adam Bona has emphasized the alarming rate of vigilante groups and urged National Security Minister to take swift action ahead of the upcoming elections. And Dr. Bona's concern highlight the pressing need for effective measures to prevent electoral violence and ensure peaceful democratic process.
Care Ghana, in partnership with Frederick Ebert Stiftung, recently hosted the second installment of its Democracy Lecture Series, focusing on Ghana's democratic development, assessing the implementation of Vigilante and Related Offences Act of 2019 to ensure peaceful elections on December 7 this year. This initiative aims to address rising electoral violence and inflammatory statements by high-ranking officials and promote transparency in the electoral process. During the event, security expert Dr. Adam Bona delivered a keynote address cautioning against deploying military personnel on election day.
Vigilantism and Other Offences Act is a cornerstone that we must build upon it. Do not deploy the military for frontline election duty. Do not deploy the military. At least, is it Jachi Kwesi's election? What was the offense North? I've seen North. I think the police made us aware that they can do this work. So let's leave this in the hands of the police. No one would deploy the military. Deploying the military, if you ask me, would be tantamount to stealing the upcoming election. So let's not deploy the military. I have had conversations with military commanders at the top, some of them, and they will tell me that, you see, the way you people bastardize us, we don't want to be involved in civilian matters.
He also expressed concerns about the recent chieftaincy clash in Boko, questioning the feasibility of holding elections in the area due to security concerns. Dr. Bona urged all Ghanaians to pray for peace in Boko.
Let's say a prayer to Boko. Boko is in turmoil, and so once the media is here, let's say a prayer, to the people of Boko. We are told 8 people died. So far, 8 people have died, or the number could be bigger. And 2 brothers died on their way to bury their father. After burying their father, when they were exiting, they were pulled out of a vehicle and shot and killed there and there. It tells you that whatever we are doing today has to do with election violence and how to stop it, and election security. I'm not sure whether there will be elections in Boko with what is happening 40 days to, I'll break the 8, you can't break the 8 elections.
And you can always trust Election Court on Globe TV as we head up to the 2024 general election. You are still watching the Wake Up News live on Globe TV. I am Bright AWUSI. Coming up on the program, Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana has announced a 15% increase in fares starting November 1st, 2024. The update is coming up shortly after the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the program. Let's do health-related stories now. The Northern Sector on Action Awareness Center NORSAC has joined forces with the Ghana Health Service to launch a comprehensive regional health fair in the Northeast region. This collaborative initiative themed promoting health through action positive behaviors seeks to boost our healthcare services across all 6 districts.
And that is why the team for this particular regional launch of the health fair is very important, and the team reads as the promoting health through positive uptake of health behaviors. In a world where diseases, both communicable and non-communicable disease, continue to challenge our well-being, health promotion stands as a beacon of hope and a cornerstone of a healthier society. Health promotion is more than just preventing diseases. It is about empowering individuals and communities to take control of their health. It involves educating people about health lifestyles, advocating for health supportive environments, and ensuring that everyone has access to resources they need to live very well. The burden of diseases refers to the impact of health problems measured by the indicators such as incidence and prevalence of specific diseases, financial costs of healthcare, mortality, social and economic impacts, and other indicators.
We urge all actors to make sure that we promote access to health services. The Accelerating Social and Behavior Change for now has increased its coverage from 17 districts known as Zone of Influence districts to over 30 districts and counting. Regional Director, I'm happy to say that our current coverage of 2 in Northeast region would be expanded to cover all 6 districts here. And we have also discussed, and I thought my good friend Gladys was going to give a hint that we are also going to now provide some financial assistance directly to Regional Health Director and team to support some of their activities. We know that we can't just be talking and engaging, but we also need to catalyze our actions with some financial assistance. And we are going to do that immediately. And you know that our year has just started. We use USAID calendar.
From the Northeast region, let me take you to the Eastern region because the chief of Kwautafo in the Eastern region, Nana Kwesi Opoku Minta II, is sounding the alarm about the lack of TVs in kindergarten schools, hindering quality education. He is calling on the natives of Kwautafo, both at home and abroad, to support his mission to equip all kindergarten schools with TV sets, enabling children to keep pace with Ghana's digital education system.
The chief's concern is rooted in the fact that inadequate digital materials in the schools ultimately affect students' performance. To address this, he is seeking donations to provide TVs and projectors to enhance the learning experience. This initiative is crucial, especially considering Kwau's reputation for being a hub of hardworking and entrepreneurial people. The chief believes that by bridging the digital divide, Kwautafo can unlock its children's potential and foster a brighter future. His appeal follows the distribution of reading books to representatives from all schools in the area, demonstrating his commitment to enhancing education in the community.
Omagana ani kwa umamu nyina nyina nya ho mfaso eno nti ana yade hia mo amano nyina ya to nsa from so
Before the international news, let me remind you that the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana has announced 15% increase in transport fares starting November 1st. On the international front, flash floods have killed several points in Spain as the east of the country is lashed by torrential rain. Several bodies have been recovered by emergency service workers in the eastern region of Valencia after the deluge triggered in the floods. The head of the regional government said early on Wednesday.
Torrents of water rushing through Valencia and Andalusia in the eastern and southern parts of Spain, leaving in their wake debris, destruction and death.
A house at the entrance of the town just disappeared after the flash floods, and there are at least 2 people still missing. Officials don't know where they are.
Residents say most roads were inundated. A high-speed train with more than 200 passengers on board derailed, but luckily came safely to a stop. Officials have since raised the emergency alert level, restricting movement and suspending rail and air services. Schools have also been closed in the worst-hit areas.
Just an hour ago, the water was at this level. It could reach my ankles. But earlier, you couldn't walk here. The water was at this level. You couldn't even see the bridge. So the level's been going down.
Torrents of water rushing through Valencia and Andalusia in the eastern and southern parts of Spain, leaving in their wake debris, destruction and death.
A house at the entrance of the town just disappeared after the flash floods, and there are at least 2 people still missing. Officials don't know where they are.
Residents say most roads were inundated, and a high-speed train with more than 200 passengers on board derailed, but luckily came safely to a stop. Officials have since raised the emergency alert level, restricting movement and suspending rail and air services. Schools have also been closed in the worst-hit areas.
Just an hour ago, the water was at this level. It could reach my ankles. But earlier, you couldn't walk here. The water was at this level. You couldn't even see the bridge. So the level's been going down.
Torrents of water rushing through Valencia and Andalusia in the eastern.
Watching the Wake Up Show. This is the sports segment. We have lots of stories for you. Let's begin from the games of the Ghana Premier League this weekend. Interesting games, and also this happens to be the match day 9. Mediama Sporting Club, led by the Bosa couple, will host Accra Hearts of Oak. That game will be live on TV. And also Accra Lions playing against FC Samates will also be live on television. These two games will be on Friday. That will be the 1st of November. And also on Sunday, 3rd November, Asante Kodoko, they lost their game against Legon Cities yesterday. They will play at the Linkley Sports Stadium, welcoming coach Bashiru Hayford and his Heart of Lions team. And Vision FC will also host Adriana Football Club. And so Treman will play against Set Osai YS Bechem United. And Brekum Chelsea, led by coach Samuel Boadu at home, will play against Baseke Holy Stars. Karela United, Jimmy Kobler and his team will be playing Kasim Okaisi Mengels Nations FC. And Bibiani Gold Stars, the league leaders, the team yet to taste a defeat this season at home, will play against Dreams FC. These are the games we have for you. Now let's look at those that will be live on TV. Bibiani Gold Stars, their game will not be live on TV this time. We have Mediama Sporting Club playing against Hearts of Oak. We have Alpha Metro and also Net2, an original TV showing that game. Accra Lions against Samates, same channels will be telecasting that game also. Now Asante Kodoko and Heart of Lions, the biggest game of them all, will be live on Globe Television on Sunday 3 p.m. And on the other side, Vision FC, Nana Kwekwajeman, that is his team. They will play against Adriana Football Club, and that game will also be live, as well as Legon City's game against Young Apostles. Still talking about the Ghana Premier League, Kumasi Asante Kodoko played their outstanding game against Legon Cities yesterday. It ended in a defeat for the Porcupine Warriors. They lost by 2-1.
Oh my goodness! It is in! I stuck onto that man in the 18 chat. And it's brought across again. Kwame Aziz got a hand to it. It says Sambaldo, and is well defended from the line. He's cut away. And Kwame Aziz has got a lot to do it. Abetabo, and it's in the Porcupine. But here comes Legon City into the tunnel. Oh my goodness! Boy, oh boy! One second.
From the Ghana Premier League, let's look at one big game in the Division 1 League also, which will be live on Globe Television. Techiman Hero Sporting Club against Techiman Liberty Youth at the Ohene Amial Park. That on Globe Television. That is where you are going to get that game. Now let's move to the Women's Premier League. Lots of games also will be coming on. And in the Northern Zone, Fusu Royal Ladies against Tamale Super Ladies. That game will also be live on Globe Television at the Ohene Amial Sports Stadium. That will be Friday, tomorrow, 10 a.m. And on the other side, we have Kumasi Sports Academy. Saturday, 2nd November, 3 p.m. at the Bantama AstroTurf. They will also be playing against Ampem Dakwa Ladies. And that game will also be live on this very channel. Let's look at some of the games from the Women's Premier League, both zones, the Northern Zone and also that of the Southern Zone. These games are from the Southern Zone.
And some of the big games, we have Hazakis ladies playing against Police ladies. Let's quickly switch to the Northern Zone, where some of the games will be live on this channel. Fosu Royal ladies against Tamale Super ladies, and also Kumasi Sports Academy playing against Ampem Dakwa ladies. Away from the Women's Premier League, the Zone B Under-20 Wafu Championship, the final was between Ghana and Nigeria. At the end of the game, Ghana lost by 2-1.
Le doublé ici, sur ce terrain. Mais quel joueur! Quel joueur!
La tête avec le long dégagement du défenseur Maswell.
Rapidement relancé. Ah oui, je rappelle que... pour servir en son garde de l'autre côté, il est là, il est rentré. Attention! Quelle édition du score sur un centre, très bien, l'ajusté de Richmond Teke. Ils arrivent à réduire le score, les Ghanéens sont à venir.
Now let's take some few stories from the foreign front also. The EFL Cup games were played in England. Chelsea lost by 2-0 to Newcastle. And also Manchester United defeated Leicester City by 5-2 in the post-Eric Ten Hag era. What a game United had after their manager was being sacked. Tottenham Hotspur also defeated Manchester City by 2-1 as the woes of Manchester City continues at the new Tottenham Hotspur Sports Stadium. An interesting victory for Tottenham Hotspur over Manchester City. That's all for sports this morning. I am Robert Konya. Thanks for your time and have a nice day.
You're welcome back to the program. We take a recap of our top stories. Supreme Court rejects Speaker of Parliament Alban of the entire production team led by Alexander Ohineje and directed by Bella Tete, Kelvin Yeboah and Abuna Makafui. Many thanks for watching. I am Bright. I wish you have a good morning and enjoy the rest of our program. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.